Alright guys, let's take a look at holes 5 and 6 now. We are in the opening round of the Pro Division. We are going to use our extra mile here with a Titan, Kingmaker, Kingslayer, or you could switch to a Zerk as I'm going to do here. I have tested them and it is fine. However you want to play this hole. So I'm using 4.5 topspin with no side spin. With an extra mile 7, my red ring is touching the rough on the right. And then I am going plus 10% at max using P3 numbers. Even if you decide you want to switch to a Zerk, still use P3 here. And then with a Zerk, you are going to use this OP every time. If you are using a P3 ball, you are going to have to add just a little bit more OP than that, as you will be pulling into overpower. So whatever overpower you pull into, add to the amount of overpower that we are using here. For our second shot, we could use a big dog, a cataclysm, or a sniper. I would suggest only using a sniper if you have a sniper 10, as you do have less yards and you also have less topspin. So make sure if you are using a Zerk that you are going to switch to P5 numbers. If you are using a P3 ball, you will be using P3 numbers. So if you have a big dog or cataclysm, you're going to want to use around 6 topspin. Probably 5 to 6 topspin, I would say. In my live play, I did use a Kingslayer, and honestly, I like that approach much better. Just because the wind is so reduced, you really don't need too much overpower. You still do because you are using P3 numbers, but it's honestly not as bad. And I did use a Kingmaker before I tested the Kingslayer, and you did need a decent amount, as I had, I think, 6.2 wind on that shot. So for this third shot, it's a nice easy EB chip, and like I said, we are just trying to get our eagle here. I'm using the EB rule at plus 20%. And on this shot, I was 30 slider. So I'm adjusting 2.4 rings. And you'll see we get the eagle, and now it's time for hole 6. We are going to be using our rock. You will need a 7+, as you will not have enough topspin, We are going to be setting up with our red ring touching the rough, and our second bounce to be dead center of the fairway. So in between the two roughs. So with a rock 7, we are using max topspin, which is about 3.8, 3.9 topspin with 3 right spin. Adjustment is 0% at mid. So you will have 50 slider. If you have an APOC, you could also use that club here as well. So here we go 301 yards. Here's my curl reference. For our second shot, I'm using a horizon. I'm using all but one of the topspin and then 2 right spin. So I'm looking to have my guide almost dead center in between the bunkers. I am favoring the left side more than the right. The adjustment here, I'm going 0% at max. So you see this one rolls down, and we are going to have a nice short putt here for birdie. This hole does suck, so this is one of those holes where you kind of just want to make sure you are not getting par. And also, I'll show you a second shot here as well. So the spins may vary, but I have definitely been trying to keep it towards the 8 topspin. So here I'm going to go 0% max. And if you do pull into OP, make sure you use a tiny bit. So you'll see I'm coming right at pin and just coming up short. So these 2 holes are definitely difficult ones.